read this before you start. Let's get right into it. The Lightning Thief is not. The movie isn't really like the book. Okay, I kind of figured that I didn't figure this out until I read the book myself. Now you're wondering, okay, where does it go wrong at? Alright, let's start out here. In the beginning of the movie, what Mustaz does change it to the monster you see in the trailer, but yet he actually kills it, and yet the monster escapes. Then we also have the moment where in Camp Half Blood, in the chapter I Become Supreme Overlord of the Bathroom, Percy finds out that he finds his powers in that incident, where he was fighting Clarice, daughter of Ares, one of my most he's one of my favorite Greek gods. He's one of my favorite Greek gods. Okay, basically, like the story, the lightning bolt's been stolen. Zeus and Poseidon have been fighting against each other because they believe his son Perseus, Percy for short, stole the Master Lightning Bolt, which isn't really true. So it's up to him and his three friends to go save Olympus and our world before we get electrocuted and drowned. And you know what I mean. Now, as I was saying, continuing with the comparison, they actually had to take a bus ride to get to their mom's house, to Percy's mom's house. In fact, in the movie, it only took them, let's say a few minutes. Then there was supposed to be the three old ladies that cut a string, I believe, from one of the chapters, and Percy can hear it from over 4 lanes of traffic. That's not super hearing. Those are fates actually. They determine like when people die, they cut a thread, kind of like the thread of life. A lot of other stuff too, like Ares' shield. Ares, I didn't know Ares was really a crybaby. It was like not crybaby. What do you call him? A wimp. He's the god of war, and yet this guy hightailed it out of here, left his shield and his girlfriend's scarf. Now I'm like, okay, let's get this straight. He left it. You're the god of war, you know? And we never find out Annabeth's real fear was spiders. Nor the fact that in Camp Half-Blood, Percy didn't fight Annabeth, he fought Clarice and won. Which I kind of like. That was a pretty good fight. I like that fight. Now, as the story progresses and more time to the summer solstice continue, they also had, let's see, what was the other one of my favorite? Oh yeah, the whole Medusa scene. Medusa, as we all know, is pretty cool. Is one of my favorite villains from Greek mythology sometimes, because you can look at her and you instantly are turned to stone. The thing was, her story wasn't really correct. In the movie and in the book, it actually goes that she used to date Poseidon, which is not technically true. In Greek mythology, if I remember correctly, watching Clash of the Gods, Medusa was actually raped by Poseidon. Yes, I know it's a kids movie, and I know she's trying to keep it PG, but it's really true. She did get raped. Let's see. Oh yeah, there was another incident in the book. Percy fought Ares, the god of war. Now, in the movie, we never see Ares anywhere in the whole entire movie. Now, you're like, okay, what does this have to do with the movie? Because he didn't really fight Ares. Technically, in the book, he fought Ares and cut him, and injured him, I believe. Cut his heel, which is pretty awesome. Then he also went up against the Chimera on top of the St. Louis Arch. Now, what's pretty cool about that was he torched a national monument, dove off into water, and the water completely healed him. Okay, that's kind of cool. I kind of admit that, and it was instant, and he was dry. And then another thing, Hades, when he appeared in Camp Half Blood. I don't know why I mispronounce that sometimes. I will say that and then I'll mispronounce it on accident. But When he arrives, he's like in this whole fiery form, and then later on in the movie, he is like this 80s rocker dude, and it's actually supposed to be set in the summer because of the summer solstice. And if Greek mythology serves me correctly, and the movie didn't serve me correctly, Persephone, the queen of the underworld, is supposed to be in the living world with her mother, who actually, if I had the paper somewhere, but oh well. Her mother is a god that controls the seasons and the plentiful harvest of the lands. Now, at the end, Percy does return the lightning bolt to Zeus, but it's not like basically he said like, "Well, you got it. Thank you." Basically, exactly Zeus's quote I believe was, "Mind me, stay out of my area. Next time you'll feel the taste of my bolt, and it will be the last sensation you feel." Strong words coming from a. I'd rather not say it's the king of the Greek gods, so really nothing to go there. Okay, now another funny thing was I have to tell you this because this is a really funny scene in the movie. There is a scene where after they kill Medusa and they're at a hotel, Grover has to use the restroom. So he takes the head of Medusa out of the restroom, and his quote from the movie was, "Yo, I can't pee without watching her staring at me." No, the funny thing it was, there's this lady, the cleaning lady happens to walk by and sees Grover holding Medusa's head. And as all people fear, she just panicked. It was hilarious. And also, one thing about the whole Medusa thing, I'm really sorry, but I had to tell you the truth. That was the truth coming from the heart. I mean, coming from mythology, legends itself. Hmm. Oh yeah, the lightning thief is this guy, and he doesn't really fight the guy in the movie. He doesn't encounter the thief. He finds out who he is, yes, but he has to go up against his pet, and he was fatally injured. Yes, now that, my friend, was kind of an odd end to the book, nearly, because as we find out, the guy, this guy is the son of a famous traveler. Greek mythology serves me correctly. He can come here and from the underworld. Now, overall, I believe that when I saw this, I never really knew what the book was like. When I read it, I was like, "This never happened. This never happened. This never happened. This never happened." Okay, to tell you the whole truth. Nearly half the stuff in the book never really happened in the movie. Lots of stuff didn't really happen. We never find out that the Percy's sword could actually cannot harm mortals, or we never meet the guy with the whole issues with making people tall. I forgot his name, but he makes people tall up on these beds, and he never mentions anything about Charon's pay raise. Yeah, it's Charon, not Sharon. The Minotaur, the Centaur, who played by Pierce Brosnan. I like that. That's actually one of the good reasons I like to watch this movie. Pierce Brosnan as a half man, half horse is awesome. He was the original. He was not the original James Bond, but he was one of the James Bonds of time. And he was pretty famous. I like that, and I could have expected him like sometimes to come out of nowhere, like secret agent style, and but he's in a wheelchair. I can't blame him. He's in a wheelchair. The guy is in a wheelchair in the movie, and a lot of stuff really didn't happen. So as a movie, because this wasn't really correct to the book, I have to give it a 5 out of 10. Okay? But as an action flick, I give it a 9. It's okay, but they skipped a major scene. And if they were to add the Ares fight, that would have actually added to a 10. Because that's actually one of my favorite fights in the entire book. If you could beat a god, if you beat a god, and you're a demigod, you're basically the man. Okay? Now that's good. Join me next time after I read The Sea of Monsters for my next review on it. Knight Rider 7602, signing off. See ya. Epic pick.